There he comes. Hey, welcome back to another wild and exciting edition of Thoughts in the Woods. Today is a chilly November day. November midday. Wait, what is it? Oh, it's not even. It's still November morning. It's still 11:30 in the morning. Jesus. I was just listening to some music and stuff while I was out here, and I was thinking, oh my god, video game soundtracks. Like, what video game soundtracks do you love? Chime in below, chat with me, talk about this. I want to hear what some of your favorite video game soundtracks are. Because I was thinking about like different sound chips, different sound fonts, as the kids like to say these days, from different eras of video games. Systems, consoles, generations, whatever. And I've always been kind of a fan of the 8 and 16-bit eras of video games. It's pretty much where... Jesus, look at this terrain. This is what I'm walking right now. This is going to be fun. I was thinking about the Super Nintendo and Genesis and PC Engine / TurboGrafx sound chips and how different they are, and how you can pretty much tell right off the bat what game system you're playing just when a game starts up, you know. They have very different sounds. I think similarly of like the 8-bit generation with the holy shit, NES, Master System, and 7800, and of course all of Atari's older stuff before that. I always considered the NES to have a very, very impressive sound chip, especially all the add-on chips that they put into games like Mr. Gimmick or Sunsoft games like that, or Konami games like Castlevania 3 and whatnot, and even Super Mario 3 has an additional chip in it for sound and for graphics that I always found very impressive. But I wanted to talk quick about a new game that's out on Steam right now, and I believe it's like $20 or $30 at most. I really, really want to grab it, and I haven't yet, just because I'm enjoying watching a lot of other people play it and talk about how excited they are for it. And it's called UFO 50 on Steam, which is a game that is a collection of retro games that never actually were ever released. They don't exist. But it's just a collection of games that sound and feel like they're from a game system from the past. And like some people have said that the graphical abilities are sort of 8-bit with the color limitations that they use, but yet they look and feel, while they have color limitations, they look and feel almost 32-bit, like early PlayStation, Saturn graphics and whatnot. But the sound chip of it, of all of the games that are on the UFO 50, sound exactly like PC Engine games or TurboGrafx games. Just the HuCard games, not CD-ROM, of course. But I thought that was so cool that the games sound like TurboGrafx games. Now, the graphics are maybe a little bit better than TurboGrafx. Some of them look way more impressive. Some of them look less impressive, which is the beauty of the PC Engine in itself, because the PC Engine had such a long lifespan in Japan, 87 to 96 or something like that, like almost 10 years, that it spanned a long list of generations. Like, it literally was around when the PlayStation and the Saturn and the N64 ruled the world. And it also was around when there was only the Nintendo in Japan, only Famicom. So like its number one competitor was the PC Engine and the Famicom for quite some time in the late 80s. And some of the early PC Engine games look like early NES titles. But some of the late PC Engine games look, honestly, comparable-wise, they look as good as a Neo Geo game. Some early PlayStation games even, like some of the PC Engine CD-ROM or Super CD-ROM or arcade card CD-ROM games have FMV, full motion video, really nice high quality full motion video, and like games like Gulliver Boy or Galaxy Fraulein Yuna. Oh, where the hell did my dog go? This is the log I was sitting on last time I lost him. I see him, he's right there. Come here. But UFO 50, check it out. It's got sound font that sounds like PC Engine. If you like the music and the gameplay and everything of UFO 50, I would suggest you get checking in on some PC Engine music. Some of the best video game composers ever. And I can't think of course, there's always the grab bag of the best of all time, like Yuzo Koshiro and the yeah, Yuzo Koshiro, Streets of Rage, ActRaiser, Super Adventure Island, East Book 1 and 2. Those games he composed all the music for that are fucking phenomenal during the 8 and 16-bit era, and he's actually coming out with a new game that he's composing all the music for too. It's a shoot 'em up coming out on the Genesis/Mega Drive. That'll be great. Looking forward to that. All the demo footage and stuff that's out there so far looks phenomenal. But like, I really like Tim Follin. Tim Follin's an NES and Super Nintendo legend. David Wise, really great game composer. Think of like Donkey Kong Country and Battletoads. Like, those are all David Wise games. He also did a lot of the early Acclaim/Rare games like Wizards and Warriors and all sorts of shit like that. And then one of my favorites is actually Christopher Hulsbeck, who did a ton of soundtracks for Amiga and Commodore 64 games. Most notably the Turrican series. Fucking love Turrican. That and with Jim Powers was another one he did that was really good. Yeah, I was just thinking about that, and the old adage, I think Mega Ran is the one who raps to video game music, and he makes his own original content, talking about video games, talking about wrestling, talking about nerdy shit, all kinds of stuff. But he has a shirt that says, "Video game music is music." And I love that, because I was thinking about that too. Like, I like listening to video game music, and sometimes when I'm around people that, you know, aren't gamers or aren't into that, I'd be like, what is this? And I'm like, oh, this is Streets of Rage 2 from the Sega Genesis. And they're like, oh, it's really good. It sounds like great trap music. And I was like, what? Techno, or like rave music. And I was like, shit, this is from a 16-bit sound synthesizer, a Yamaha sound synthesizer. It's chiptunes music, dude. And I just think that's interesting. Not to mention, a lot of people don't respect video game music like it's actually music. So video game music is music. I think that's a great slogan, a great tagline. So anyway, it's a beautiful day out. Getting some steps in. And that's my chat about video game music. Peace.